This episode of Comedy Bang Bang is brought to you by Marc Maron Too Real. Meditation makes him crazy and he's not big on fun, but he turns profound discomfort into an art form. You know him as one of the most respected names in comedy and one of the stars of the critically acclaimed Netflix original series Glow. Actor, podcaster, comedian Marc Maron has a new stand-up special on Netflix. Marc returns to the stage to deliver his take on a wide array of subjects as only he can. Watch Marc Maron Too Real only on Netflix, September 5th.
Comedy bang bang, 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 comedy bang bang.
Make a man eat shit and you humiliate him for a day. Teach a man to eat shit and you feed him for a lifetime. Welcome to Comedy Bang Bang. Yes! Thank you, Mr. Malacca, for that catchphrase submission. And we are, Comedy Bang Bang another week. We are just about out of the dog days of Augie Doggy. Just a few more days. And we're out and we're into September. But while we're here in Augie Doggy, why not celebrate it while we're here? I'm Scott Aukerman, by the way, and this is, of course, Comedy Bang Bang. We have a great show for you today. We have one of our favorites on the show. He's been on several times, both in a live setting and in a studio setting. I don't know whether he's ever been on the show in this studio, though. These are the kind of questions I'm going to ask him, so get hyped for that. Plus, we have a television producer coming up as well a little later. But before we get to them, let's turn to my right. And if all of you at home could turn to your right, I would appreciate it. And whatever's there is there. But on my right, we have one of our favorite old favies, as I call him.
Oh, that's very nice of you. That's nice of you to say. I don't like the old part.
He's an ex-musician, or would you consider yourself still to be a musician?
You mean like an extreme musician? I've been to the...
in the X Games,
right.
Yes.
I'll go to the X Games, but just to watch.
You've never participated.
They wouldn't let me. I never had a helmet with me.
Oh, that's the only problem there,
right.
Is the helmet.
Right.
He used to be in a...
Who did?
You did.
Oh, okay.
I'm still introducing you. I haven't said your name.
Well, you're looking right at me and saying he.
He used to be in a musical combination.
Rock and roll
during the 1960s called the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
He died for 5 years. He decided to come back to life.
Oh, it's only 4 years.
I keep getting those details
I don't want
mixed
anyone
up.
on the internet to, razz you for that.
Did we talk about the fact that it was 1984, George Orwell's famous Screed?
Certainly had to have come up here on the podcast.
He died. He came back to life. He now is one of our wonderful guests on this show. Please welcome John Lennon. Hello, John.
Thank you very much. Drums. Sometimes I forget to say the catchphrase.
Oh, I thought you were maybe asking me for a drum roll, like our wonderful guest, John Lennon.
Every time, it's good that you bring that up. Every time I've said drums, it's me asking for a drum roll.
So I'm finally going to give it to you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Your catchphrase, of course, drums, even though you do not play the drums.
I don't play, but my best friend does.
Yes, Ringo.
Right.
We know him.
Right.
Why haven't you ever joined that all-star band? Have I asked you that before? You know that traveling all-star band? He's got like Howard Jones and Joe Walsh.
Right. Well, I've been to a couple of their shows.
Really? No one has ever asked you to... I know you don't have a helmet, but no one's ever asked you to come over on stage?
They ask me all the time. They say, will you come up? And I said, I'd love to. I'd like nothing more than to come up and, sing and dance with you guys. And play the guitar. But, I can't.
Why is that?
Because I don't have my guitar. Because Ringo's got it.
Ringo took your guitar, your favorite guitar...
The Fender.
Irreplaceable because of it has a skeleton finger as the whammy bar.
Right.
Yes.
And it looks so cool. And I even ordered some of those sparks that it shoots out the neck of the guitar.
Out of the neck, like Kiss?
Kiss.
Real? You ordered them?
I ordered them and they never came.
Well, it seems to me like you have some sort of dispute with the company. Like you could...
I ordered them, just about a half an hour ago.
Oh, okay. Well... Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe Amazon drone service could deliver in that
I guess
quickly,
not.
but-
I guess not. Amazon's not that quick.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe the next time we see you, although you don't have your guitar back.
I'll bring, next time I come by, I'll bring the Sparks, and I'll just shoot them off here in the room.
What if I were to buy you a guitar with a skeleton finger as a whammy bar? Could you finally play again?
Sure, I'd love you to, try something like that. But if you do that, also buy me a trash can because it's going to go right in there.
Why?
I only play the one because the sound on this Fender is so great.
It's a Fender.
A Fender Stratocaster.
All right. Well, please get it back from Ringo. Because
I'm trying my best. I was over there last night.
You were? What were you doing?
I was trying to, I was putting a fan in his house for him.
You were installing a fan?
I was helping him.
He was installing a fan, you were assisting.
I was assisting. I was holding the ladder.
Okay, and it was a ceiling fan?
And when I say the ladder, I mean, the step stool, not holding the ladder. I wasn't holding Ringo.
Right, yes. And it was a ceiling fan.
That's right, because he has no AC in his house.
Why not? He's Ringo Starr.
No, the place he moved into won't allow it.
Why did he move? He won't allow it.
They won't allow it. It's too new. It's a new house. Brand new.
So new that they will not allow AC to be installed.
That's right, because they want to be, so environmentally conscious. Which is, BS in my opinion.
Oh, bullshit? You think it's bullshit?
Whoa.
You think environmental?
I know. I think BS is batshit crazy.
That would be BSC.
Right, but
which I think I've seen in movies, haven't I? BSC?
I don't know. What movies have you seen?
Okay, let's go down. I think Peter Pan was maybe the first.
Really?
I believe so. What was the first movie you ever saw? I mean, obviously, you've been around since the 1930s, probably.
Oh, so something like that. The first movie I ever saw was Help.
The one you were in?
I caught a glimpse of the dailies.
Only the dailies? You've never seen the completed movie?
Ah, but they were long enough.
So you've never seen a movie?
Actually, that's not true. But that was the first movie I seen.
Oh, okay. So since then, are you a cinephile or?
You could say that.
Would it be accurate?
Do you want to consider yourself a liar?
I would prefer to
do not
always
perjure
speak
yourself.
with veracity.
Okay, good.
So you
I'm a cinephile, that's for sure. It's true.
So your favorite film of all time?
Help.
The one you haven't seen.
I saw the dailies. I loved it. There was one actor in that I particularly loved.
Let me guess, Ringo?
No, myself.
Oh, okay.
I think I did a great job.
Yeah. Well, how did you? I mean, look, when you have a Beatle here in the chair, you want to ask him questions.
Oh my! What? Is there a Beatle? Oh, you're referring to me.
Well, yeah. I know you forget that you were in the Beatles, but
I thought there was a bug.
That was such a minuscule part of your life. I mean, you've been alive now for 80 years and dead for 5 or 4.
4, yeah.
Being in the Beatles was like 8 years of your life. It was just
quick,
such a sliver.
Just a blink.
Yeah.
You blink, you miss it.
So
good thing I kept my eyes open the whole time.
Really? You never blinked?
I never did. I had a spray bottle. Oh, did I? Yes, I rested.
Sure. Were your eyes open then?
Yeah.
Or okay. But when you have a Beatle in the chair, and again, I mean the Beatles, you want to ask him questions. What was the process of filming the Help movie? By the way, I don't mean the movie The Help.
Yeah,
did you see that?
I didn't see that, but I was on set for it.
You were? Why?
They needed someone to tune the guitars.
There were no guitars in the movie The Help.
They shot a guitar scene that they cut.
Why? Because the guitars were out of tune?
No, I tuned them myself.
Yeah.
It's the last time I touched a guitar.
Oh, yeah.
On the set of The Help.
Wait, was it your guitar, the Fender Stratocaster?
No, if it was my guitar, I'd be strapping that on me and locking it on.
Because that would be an anachronistic, I believe. Maybe they had Fenders back in the Help days.
I think they did.
When was The Help even set? Does anyone know? The 60s? The 70s?
I think that was the 50s.
The 50s, okay.
All the 60s. Right. I think it spanned.
What'd you think of that shit pie?
I wouldn't eat it.
I'm asking, what do you think of it as a cinephile? Not whether you would eat it or not.
I'm telling you, what I think of it is so when I saw it on screen, I mean on the set, because I didn't see it.
Right.
When I saw it on set, I said, this better not be lunch or I'm walking. And they said, it's not lunch. You're going to have chicken tandoori.
You had chicken tandoori?
I loved it.
Yeah.
And then I made a pie of my own.
So you made a pie out of it?
Well, in certain ways.
Oh, I see. Meaning you took a shit after you ate it?
I didn't want to be so crass and jump on your show and say, hey, everyone, John Lennon took a shit when he was on a movie set.
Well, everyone does when they're on a movie set.
I want to be poetic about it.
I wonder if you're doing a day on a movie set.
Right.
Like, what percentage of people takes a shit when you're just doing one day? You know, you're there for like 6 hours, 8 hours. You know, maybe you keep it in the entire time.
You wonder.
I think it's 50-50.
You think, you think well.
Speaking of movies, 50-50. What do you think of that?
Oh, cried.
Really?
Cried my little eyes out.
Why is that?
You know, because you fell in love with the character, and then he was so worried he was going to die.
He didn't, though.
Thank God. That's when the tears dried up. When the credits rolled and he was still alive, I said, that was close.
Well, what a waste of time, though, for you to be crying about that.
That wasn't too a waste, but I got a big bag of popcorn.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite foods.
Very good, very good. So, favorite movie of all time, Help, and first movie you ever saw, Help.
Right.
Good.
Just the day.
And The Help, never seen it.
Never seen it, but spent a lot of time on set.
A lot of time. What do you think of that Emma Stone?
Great. You know, she was an Oscar winner.
Yeah, I do know.
Almost, she almost won the movie of the year.
Did you see Moonlight?
I did.
What do you think of that?
Great. I'm glad it won.
Cry during that?
I cried every movie.
Really?
Right, because when I get to the end of my popcorn, it's a sad state of affairs.
Okay.
I eat the stuff, before the trailers are done.
Yeah. Why don't you buy a bigger bag?
I buy the biggest one they got.
Oh, yeah?
Trash
Why don't
bag.
you buy 2 trash bags worth? They sell it to you in a trash bag? Are you sure you're not just going out in back of the theater and getting a trash bag that they
How can
throw
anyone
out?
be sure where they are?
All right. Well, these are the existential questions.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of existential questions, you're going to stick around and be my co-host for the day.
No, I can do that.
Asking questions to our
Sure.
guests. Yeah.
I'll try to think of the most poignant, spot-on questions I can.
Okay, good.
And I'll never derail.
And along the way, I would love to hear about what you've been up to recently, because your adventures out there in the world are fascinating. Trying to jump the Grand Canyon, in
They're
your
never
RV.
ending. Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, they did end at a certain point, but then you decided to
I didn't
keep
have
them
to.
going.
Right, I didn't want them to end.
Right. So
Somebody else decided that for me.
That's right.
And it wasn't fair.
It's not fair, and that's why you decided to come back to life,
Right.
because someone else shouldn't make that decision. Do people who commit suicide, are they able to come back to life, or because it was their
No, that
decision?
was their decision. They said they're done.
So anyone else though can just decide to come back
Right.
to life.
That's right.
Okay, if it's someone else's decision.
Famous or infamous?
What about cancer? What if someone dies of cancer? Is that
Well, if you gave it to yourself.
so? Like smokers, they can't come back to life, or
Oh, that's a good question.
but-
Because I used to smoke too.
that's right, but you didn't die from it,
Right.
I mean, you technically the gun was smoking.
Geez, this is existential.
Well, all right. So get those questions rolling around in your
Right.
head, because I want to hear from you.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm sure our guests do too. Okay?
I'm not going to zip the lip.
Okay. Very good. Unzip that lip, if you would. Okay. Thank you very much. Our first guest.
A good Elvis impression.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Elvis, a big Beatles influence, right?
A big Beatles, just a big guy towards the end.
Yeah. Got it. All right. Well, let's get to our guest of honor, as we call him. This is the show, by the way. And John, I want your opinion on this. This is the show where we talk to interesting people. That is our new catchphrase. And I don't know if you've been on the show since we started using it, but the show where we talk to interesting people.
I mean, I just want to think back of every single episode you've ever had. Okay, 3. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's been every single episode.
But I've never crystallized
Right.
it and put it into words before.
It's
But
perfect.
It's perfect, because if I were flipping through podcasts,
Right.
like the proverbial V's,
Right.
I'd be like, what's the show?
How to fix your car with your friends.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. What is
History I never thought of.
Yeah, get out of here. But then when I land on the show where they talk to interesting people,
Hey,
wow,
I like interesting people.
I like interesting people of all stars and stripes. Well, I'm gonna press play on that.
Right.
And that's why it's such a perfect catchphrase. And our guest of honor, he encapsulates that. The latter part of the catchphrase, the interesting people part of the catchphrase.
Right.
Just perfectly. And he is an improviser. He's an actor. He is a talk show host. Those are probably the 3 things that I can think of that he does. I mean, he's a human being. Male,
Sure.
I guess, although are we even supposed to bring up gender anymore?
Well, ask
I don't
him.
even know. Yeah, that's true. Identifies as male. Podcast host as well, has a podcast on this very network. And you can see him on, I didn't ask about the title, but I believe it's the Chris Gethard Show. Is that right?
That is correct, yeah.
Is he doing his Elvis impression?
No, I just spoke out loud and realized something's very wrong with my throat. Very wrong. I apologize.
Very wrong. All right, well, clear that up before you continue talking and before this introduction is done. You can see the Chris Gethard Show live on Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. Who knows? Mountain, Central, and Pacific. None of that information is in front of me. And you can see this on True TV. Please welcome the titular, Chris Gethard. Hello, Chris.
Hi.
Okay.
Thanks for calling me titular.
No problem. So something's still wrong in there.
No, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty
Go
good
like
at
this.
the end of the day.
Good.
Chris, is this your first time speaking for the day?
I haven't spoken out loud.
Right.
Yeah, there's been no reason to. And I have to say, I'm blown away that John Lennon's here. Blown away.
Oh, did you not know that John Lennon is alive?
I had heard rumor you were alive, but I've never met. And I will say on my end too. I just just pop culture. I'm a big
I thought you were going to say popcorn. He got very excited.
Outstanding.
Like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead. I was very trepidatious to meet someone who is undead, but I feel like that's actually severely misrepresented.
Oh, that's TV.
You're so
Those are fake
nice.
stories.
You're
Those are
so
special
nice.
effects.
Special effects. God, we wish we had them all in our daily life, don't we?
Were you rotting at all? Like, is any part of you rotting?
Oh,
currently,
no.
or-
You don't rot until, 14, 15 years in.
Okay,
Really?
didn't know that.
Yeah, of course.
Chris, welcome back to the show. So good to see you.
Yeah, great seeing you.
First time talking today. Maybe not for your entire life, though. You've spoken before.
I have spoken out loud prior.
It'd be
Yeah.
hard to do a podcast and a talk show if you hadn't spoken.
Yeah, generally my policy when I wake up though is like I'm not going to speak until something really deserving of words comes about.
Thank
and
you.
Yeah,
What a
this-
wonderful
This
compliment.
is breaking the seal on that. Yeah,
Did you ever wish that you were a silent film actor and you never had to talk?
all the time.
God,
Every
they
day.
had it so good back then.
Yeah, it's all just based in the physical movement, which I think is the thing I'm known for is like real
Yeah.
physicality.
You know, John, silent films, that's your era, but you never watched them back then, huh?
No, because I was into music, so I was such a sound guy.
I was listening to you guys talk about movies before, and I've been a day player in a number of movies. I've taken a shit every time.
Every single time?
Every single time. I could name you a whole list of movies that I've had very small parts in, or even parts I was cut out of. A policy is I always leave a mark via
What about Ed TV?
Ed T. I know. Well, I wasn't in. Oh, this only applies.
I'm just guessing movies now. I have no idea what you're.
These are just the ones I was in. I was not in Ed TV.
Okay, but has there ever been a movie where you came onto the set just to visit and took a shit?
Great question. Yeah, I think that has happened. Yeah, that has.
What about the Pineapple Prankster?
I did. Well, yeah.
Okay. I didn't even, now I'm just guessing movie titles.
Yeah, I don't believe that's there's Pineapple Express.
Sure, but Chris has been on it.
You've
so.
never seen the Pineapple Prankster?
It's a good spin-off of Pineapple Express, technically. Like,
Well,
I'm
that's
interested.
interesting because it came out before.
It's set in the world of Pineapple Express, but it stars Michael Carbonaro, the prankster magician.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this sounds good. So it's set
really
in the
great.
Pineapple universe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a mashup.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So are you a person who enjoys going out there and just leaving your biz everywhere, shit-wise?
Yeah. It's a way for a person who's not powerful to feel slightly powerful.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I
I
mean,
like that.
my dog does it.
Yeah.
We'll walk into a room that she is not allowed into normally and immediately just like, boom,
Yeah.
hey, this is what I'm all about.
Yeah, anytime I've been in a film, I know, like I've been cut out of some notable films, cut out of Iron Man 3, but I took
Iron
a
Man
shit.
3?
Really?
Yeah, which would have been huge for me. I grew up on Marvel Comics, but
Yeah.
I may have been cut out, but I did leave something behind, you know?
Right.
Taking
That's
a shit
right.
on the sets of many movies that Katie Dipples wrote. Many.
Right.
She and I are friends from college, so I shit on her movie sets all the time.
Oh, all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
What'd you play in Iron Man 3? Were you Iron Man?
I was briefly Iron Man, yeah, and then they decided it was weird because when they called me, they were like, Iron Man 3, we want you to be Iron Man, and I was like, but for the first two, it was not me, if I'm correct on that, and they were like, yeah, we want to just really go in a
Totally different
direction. Yeah, we want to like kick out someone who's known, bring someone who's unknown in.
Right,
That's
yeah.
worked out really well for you in your career before.
Did they do like an Eric Stoltz in Back to the Future situation where they shot a couple of weeks with you and then said, what are we doing? Let's just get Robert Downey Jr. back.
We've had him on before. He fits the suit.
It was all I was just gonna say that's the other thing. They didn't reshape the suit to my body,
Yeah.
so I was also fitting into a suit
With
built
a
for another man.
Tinier crotch, right?
I'm a much tinier crotch, but real big pecs, real big biceps. It was weird. It was it never felt
Maybe if they
right.
had turned it upside down, it could have fit better.
Yeah, and I wish they put in a little effort. They didn't really make much of an effort to make it feel like home for me. You know,
Right,
my
yeah.
head is notoriously large. It was hard to even get the helmet on.
Right.
It was brutally painful every time. And then when I was acting without the helmet, I was constantly covered in abrasions and cuts from them. They would have to, use like not a hammer, like a rubber mallet.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes to get it over my head.
Oh my
Right.
God, that was during the big makeup strike.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Huge makeup strike.
That was terrible.
What
Yeah.
were some of your lines as Iron Man? Do you remember any of them?
Black Widow, cut it out. That was a big one that I nailed.
What was she doing? Do you remember what she
She
was?
was razzing me. She wouldn't stop razzing me.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had a whole scene where it was like snaps, with
Like Yo Mama Snaps?
like Wilmer Valderrama style.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And were you like, your widow is so black? I don't even want to complete.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
smart.
I'm jettisoning
It was
this bit.
shocking that they cut the scene where it was just a series of jokes starting with "Your widow is so black." Your widow's so black. I'm not surprised her racist husband died. Like
Yeah.
things like that,
Ooh,
you know?
boy, yeah,
Just
that's
things
no
like
good.
that.
Yeah.
It went the direction they eventually went with when I watched it. I was very bitter when I got cut, but then I watched the film and I was like, yeah, I get this.
Sure. I mean, you're a Marvel fan, so you want the franchise to keep going.
Yeah,
in the way it was meant to go.
Continuity is a big thing.
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I don't like that when Terrence, whatever his name, he doesn't play Rhodey anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, who cares what he did?
Sounds like you really care so much about Terrence, whatever his name is.
What's his last name? Winter?
Howard.
Howard. Yeah, Howard. He's a guy. 2 first names. Come on, pick one. You know what I mean? Howard or Terrence. You
Yeah.
know, and then have something like Smith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I get it.
Like, you're a guy who's like, Chris, okay, hey, I'm sitting pretty with one first name, but I'm going to put a last name at the end of that. Gethard. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, Terrence Howard, he doesn't know what he's doing, you know? But it's still in all, I would overlook that and go, keep on playing Rhodey. Or kill him off and have that be the very first scene in Iron Man 2. Where, like, they take CGI Terrence Howard's face, and then they behead him in, like, an ISIS video. And they go, oh, well.
As him, as the man. Not
yes.
as War Machine.
Yes.
Not as... He doesn't die
not
in the
as
course
James
of
Rhodes.
superheroics.
No.
Oh, you're not even saying as James Rhodes.
I'm saying they execute Terrence Howard
Oh, interesting.
and say, you're not allowed to be in these movies anymore. And
This
then
is before the credits, before.
yeah.
It's like how...
This is before the company cards.
Wow.
Usually in a Marvel movie, you wait till the end to see a little snippet
bonus
of something
scene.
you didn't get.
Yeah.
You're saying this would be before it starts. You see one
Yes.
of the actors beheaded by ISIS.
Same thing with the Hulk, you know, get Edward Norton and just be like, hey, we're sawing off your head today.
Before the movie starts.
Before the movie starts, yeah. I'm saying the house lights are still up in the theater.
Wow.
People are still filing in.
I mean, your bag of popcorn's probably already gone
It's
at
half
this point.
done at that point.
I think you should bracket it between 2 runnings of the Let's Go Out to the Lobby dancing snacks.
Right.
You have one
Just a-
run of Let's Go Out
Just
to
a
the Lobby.
brutal ISIS video.
Brutal ISIS
right in the
beheading.
middle.
And then you pick right back up with the Let's Go Out to the
and
Lobby.
we get ISIS to do it. That's the thing. This is the thing. They're out there making videos. They want to break into the biz.
Well,
this is a great way to occupy their time. Get them, like
if there's
not
two
thinking
guys, if there's 2 guys in the comedy world who look out for content creators, I would say it's you and I. When it comes to
That's
DIY
right.
content creation,
That's right.
Scott and
I
Geth,
knew you
everybody
would,
knows.
I knew you would be on
you
board with
can't
this.
hey, morally say what you want about ISIS, but
Say
you
what you
can't
want.
rip off what they do.
And we're not saying, and that's the thing, the First Amendment, sure, we're not saying you can't say what you want about ISIS. Just say whatever you want about ISIS, but we have the right to do this.
And if they make a thing, you don't rip it off. I don't want to see some bastardized, cleaned up version before
No.
the movie. I don't want to see the Hollywood version.
The
of it
Hollywood version, the big budget, but we're going to water it down.
in the
we don't-
pre-credit beheading.
Yeah, we don't want to see this. Chris, I like the way you think about this, and this is entirely your idea. Now, tell us about the Chris Gethard Show, because now I've been a fan of this thing ever since it was on PBS, or where was it?
It was on PBS.
It was on PBS, in between the McNeil and Lair News Hour.
And then a lot of reruns of Monty Python.
Right, yeah. So McNeil would talk, then your show, then Lair comes out. Mm-hmm. So now we're on this thing called True TV, which is it's like CISO, but people pay for it, and it's working. What is True TV?
I think you just nailed it.
Right.
It's working.
It's
still in business?
It's a highly functioning CISO, yeah.
The one
Highly
difference.
functioning CISO.
How do you get on something like that?
You slug it out on public access, PBS
Right.
as you call it, for 4 to 5 years. Then you go to another network for 2 years, and then True TV says, "Hey, we'll take a chance on you."
What was the one before that? It was like I'm picturing it. It was like it had a mascot. It was like it was like an Indian. It was kind of a racist Native American mascot. What was your previous network?
It was a baseball team in Cleveland.
Right. Yes, the
Yeah.
Cleveland Indians.
Oh, I
We were
remember
just
seeing
shown
those episodes.
For 2 years. Our show was exclusively shown on the Jumbotron at Cleveland Indians games.
Right.
And you guys would come out and swing the bats and hit baseballs around.
And we'd dress as
Crack
hot
of the
dogs
bat.
and we'd race around,
Right.
see who could get around.
Oh, that was a
first.
fun show.
Touch them all.
The whole cast
Right.
of my show, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not great for TV.
No, it was we were really I'm not trying to make a pun here. We were really slugging it out, trying to
Right.
just keep it going.
You weren't trying, but you succeeded so well. And
Thank you so
Effortless.
Thank you so much. No, yes, effortless. My show getting into True TV. If there's one thing I would say it was effortless.
Effortless. Yeah. And that's your whole career. I've noticed. Is you just coasting.
Real easy, real easy breezy.
Cover girl.
A lot of my peers who I came up with in New York were really stressed out at how quickly things happened for me.
Oh, yeah. They were like,
Yeah.
boy, this Chris guy, he gets to New York and immediately everything happens for him.
Yeah.
But it's, when you have the looks that you have and the talent, you know what I mean? People are going to be throwing opportunities at you.
Mostly the looks, like we want a guy who's somehow balding but also has a Tintin haircut. It was
Right.
really
It's like,
in high demand.
how do we mesh those two?
It was really in high demand, yeah.
Yeah.
We want a guy who's like half Ron Howard.
Half Clint Howard.
Yeah, mostly Clint Howard, yeah. Like a guy who looks sort of like if cute Ron Howard as a kid, if Opie grew up
And said,
transformed into Clint Howard.
and said, oh, man, I miss my brother Clint.
yeah, and if you froze that 80% through the transformation process.
And we're like, oh, no, our machine is fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming out.
Yeah, let's
then
hand
that's-
that guy a career.
Right.
And make him look physically exhausted all the time.
360.
And riddle him with anxiety and have him talk publicly about his depression over and over and over again.
That's a great description of your show.
Thank you so much.
Thursday nights, live, 11 p.m. Eastern. How long is the show nowadays? Is it a full hour?
It's an hour.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it
we
used to
get
be a
guests.
half hour.
Yeah, it was an hour on public access. Then when we were at the Cleveland Indians Jumbotron, it went to half an hour because the seventh inning stretch is only half an hour long.
Yeah, of course, we all know that.
Yeah.
And that, by the way, I usually about 15 minutes into the stretch, I'm like, I kind of want to beat traffic. I don't know if I have another
I'm
15
done.
minutes.
I felt bad for the other team because they weren't accustomed. Theirs is usually like 2 to 3 minutes long.
Right, yeah, but for the Indians, it's like, no, you're really going to, and they make the team stretch the entire time.
They do. They make them
Like
go
doing
through
calisthenic
elaborate
stretches.
which isn't always good because the lactic acid build up and
They're making them
disbursement.
run drills.
It was really crazy. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Cleveland really committed to the idea that, no, during the seventh inning stretch, you'll watch a half hour of a poorly organized alt comedy talk
Right.
show.
While
on the
doing
Jumbotron.
calisthenics.
Yeah.
Led by Drew Carey.
Yes. Yes.
How many times has he been on the show?
Pretty much every episode
Yeah.
except 2, yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And we're a little bit deep into the season. How many episodes are you doing this season?
We're doing 16.
16. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's great.
Season could drive a car.
To be fair, they have reserved the right contractually to bail after 10, so
Okay.
16.
I mean,
knock on wood.
technically, they could bail whenever they want. No one's like
They could.
putting a gun to their head and saying, you're putting these up. I mean, you have to get paid
They'd
for
have
10.
to pay me for 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And how much do they pay you per episode?
I just kind of heard your question just hit my ear, and it made me think you can't ask that.
It's-
So-
What?
It's well, I'll tell you because they had to up it from when I was on PBS.
Yeah, of course
those
they
PBS rates. So and PBS was paying me $3.5 million per episode.
Of course they are.
So they've had to come.
I've
in.
noticed that people do that. Usually they either they'll do one of the two extremes. They'll go and say they get paid a lot or they get paid very, very little.
Yeah.
But I want to hear what's in the middle. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, what
You
do
wanna hear the
actu-
real thing.
Yeah, I want to hear the real deal Holyfield. Like, what do you-
3.5, you hear that and say, I'm being tricked.
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah,
guess.
okay.
And you tell me if I'm low or if I'm high.
Is this per
Is
episode?
this real? Do
This
you
is
want to do
per
this?
ep.
We're doing this for
Yeah,
real.
we're doing this for real. Okay, per ep. Okay, this is your third season of doing it on TV.
Third season on cable. First
Okay, so
season on
you're
True
obviously
TV.
not going to do it for less than what you got paid the first two seasons.
Correct.
Right. So if you're, usually you're getting a 5% bump every season. I'm guessing, but you were were on a smaller network before, so I'm betting the True TV, they're saying, hey, we'll take a chance on the show, but we're not going to pay you $1 million per episode. I'm guessing you're getting $17,500 per episode.
Pretty on target.
Really?
Pretty
all right.
on target.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty on target.
And doing 16, that's not bad.
Yeah, I tell you, don't love having my financial statements accurately aired out.
Scott, I've got a question. Who is this fun for?
Fun for me.
Having long maintained an underdog credibility with my punk rock fans, I don't know if they'll love to hear that I make that much per episode.
But look,
blow the illusion a little bit.
Look,
but
it's a lot of hard work doing a television show, and you're worth every penny.
I write it, I host it,
exactly.
I produce it, and I will say I'm certainly not saying it's a hard life, but I will say that I have taken a step back and honestly, as someone who's self-loathing, do I deserve this money? I think I do deserve this money.
Does anyone truly deserve anything in life? Hey, if they're going to give it to you, take it.
Well, that's the
what
other
I say.
thing.
Also, by the way, you can't do a television show for nothing. You know what I mean? Because then they'll make everyone do it for nothing.
I did for years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Public access.
I remember when I first started doing my show, I was like, I'll do. I even told the network, I was like, I'll do it for a very little amount. And one of the executives said, you have to stop saying that.
I said a similar thing, and my manager was like, you never say that out loud again.
Right, yeah.
But the other thing I always think about is I'm making more money than I used to, and sometimes I feel very weird about that. But then I also am constantly convinced that my entire career is just going to end 3 months from now.
You have a very short time.
Take what I can get.
You got to take
and be smart about it.
Because you can only do so many seasons, and then then it takes years to get another show on. You're doing fine. Now let's talk. Your stand-up, your one-man show was also on HBO. Now they have a lot of money. So what are you getting paid?
I did not get much of it.
You didn't get much of it.
Do you want to hazard another guess?
Are you behind the paywall at HBO?
Am I behind the? I think
technically everything is a paywall.
Yeah,
cable is a paywall.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's a paid.
But nobody's talking about it.
It is a paid network on a paid. You have to pay more than you already pay for cable. So I'm technically behind a double.
Technically,
paywall.
Buying a television set is a paywall.
That's true.
If you want to guess, as you know though, Netflix is throwing the real money at
Netflix is they're insane with it.
Oh, they sent me some the other day.
They sent you some money?
Right, they said, we want you behind the paywall. I said, well, what do you mean? They said, we don't want your stuff out.
You may have signed a contract where they're expecting something from you.
Okay, well, let me borrow. Does your phone have a camera on it?
Of course.
Because I'd love to shoot this and send it to him.
No, please. No, I'm not going to sign a release for this. By the way, what was that called? Because
it's called Career Suicide.
Career Suicide. It was very well received.
Thank you.
And I was bummed you don't live out here in LA because I would have had you on to promote that because I heard it was great.
Thanks, yeah.
But people can still see it on HBO Go
it's
or
on
what
demand. A lot of people have been tweeting at me that they're watching it on planes, which is a nice thing.
Is that nice?
It's available on planes. I think when you're on a long flight, when you're on a cross-country flight, the best thing you want to do is watch a 90-minute stand-up special where someone talks very frankly about times he's tried to kill himself.
Well, honestly, like you're on a flight and you're forced to sit down for 90 minutes. It must be nice to watch someone stand up.
There you go. Just turn the sound off.
It's aspirational.
You just turn the sound off. Watch me
and
gesticulate.
you're like, I wish I could be that guy.
Yeah.
And you've had the career where people are like, the women want to have sex with you and the men want to be you.
Yeah.
And specifically the standing up part when they're on a plane.
Yeah. You look at a guy who looks like me in my little striped shirt that makes me look like a grown-up version of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. You're like, I want to be that or I want to fuck that.
Now, what do you think about comedians who denigrate what they are wearing while they're on stage? Because they made the choice to do it.
They did it. I just did it, and it's a cheap move. I don't like it. It is a thing.
I knew if I called you out on it that you would recognize what you were doing. I appreciate that.
Well, I feel like crossing over into saying I look like a grown-up Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes is fair because I didn't have a choice.
You didn't have a choice.
That's genetics. And that's bad Irish genetics.
And I will say that you are saying that about your shirt in retrospect. It could be you watched the special and was like, I didn't know I looked like that, and you're making a comment.
I will say I wore a striped shirt on my special, and someone on the internet did say, how come you dress like a character, an adolescent who dies at the beginnings of an 80s horror movie? And I was like, ooh, I'm never wearing a striped shirt ever again.
Stripes indicate
Brutal.
that?
I'll have to go
look
back
at it,
and
though.
watch those.
I was like, I look like someone who dies in a summer camp in the first 20 minutes in the 80s.
I have never put that together that
Oh,
Stripes
it's brutal.
meant that.
But yeah, the Calvin from
lose
Calvin
lives.
House when I stand up. But you are right. That's a bullshit thing in stand up. Someone's like, what? I look like a hippy dippy fuck in this shirt. And it's like, then change your shirt.
They should have worn it.
You can slightly get away with it if you mention that you didn't really, you just threw on whatever, and then when you got to the club, you were like, oh shit, I look like this. Like then I would be like, okay. But then if you do that twice, if you ever use that again, then I'm calling
And
bullshit.
if it's your opener or your closer,
Yep, no good.
die in a fire.
Really?
Die in a fire.
Oh man,
Because you can come back to life.
That's true.
Just experience the pain. So
Unless
right.
you-
Oh,
well, unless you walk into that fire.
That's
unless
right.
you
If-
light the fire.
Right.
So, you have to go through like some sort of elaborate trick to trick someone into setting you on fire without it actually being your choice.
Even still, that's
Peer
just
pressure?
putting it into
Just
motion.
I know, yeah.
God.
I guess all
It's tough.
deaths, though, something is put into motion by something you
That's
did.
a
I mean,
good
what
point.
did you do to Mark David Chapman? Is he the guy who killed you?
Hey, yeah, he got me. What did I do to him? Nothing. I just was, putting out music that he liked so much.
But technically, you were asking for it.
I just should have kept my mouth shut.
Is Catcher in the Rye different for you now when you reread it? Because we
Can
don't
I admit
reread it
something?
all the time.
I still haven't read it.
Really?
I bet
Still
it brings up bad memories.
Yeah,
for you.
you never want to read the book that your assassin is carrying.
Yeah.
You're the only one who has that. You say that as if it's a general thing we all know.
Yeah,
you
I
never
know.
want to read the book your assassin was carrying.
Everyone talks it. You never want to do that.
I mean, Lincoln never talked about what John Wilkes Booth, what book he was
I
carrying.
don't know
I
if
think
he was
would-
carrying a
I
book.
think he had a Bazooka Joe comic in his pocket.
Really?
Really?
I think.
Really?
I think that.
Bazooka Joe.
Was the punchline Sic Semper Tyrannis? Or
Right.
all right.
Right.
So what do we have? We're a little bit into the season, but we still have plenty of episodes to go, Chris.
Yeah.
What do we have planned? I mean, you've had so many interesting episodes. You've had Paul Giamatti in a box,
A dumpster. Let's show some
I
respect.
call it a box. I mean, I
You throw garbage in any random box you see?
of course.
What's
trash
wrong
box.
with you? What if someone's storing something sentimental, something very valuable in that box?
Nope.
One man's
Trash
treasure.
goes in that. Yep,
Not-
It's
exactly.
another man's trash.
Not every box is a garbage can.
Sorry. Hat boxes?
Right.
Those are the best.
There's certain boxes
they're
of mine.
circular.
There's certain boxes I have in my possession that if you put trash in them, I would kill you.
You're very violent, I've noticed. You
Yeah,
want
it
people
is.
to die in fires. You would kill me.
Yeah.
I'm a peace love guy.
Yeah, hey, I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
You're notorious.
I love it.
All you need is love.
Yep.
Who was the most violent Beatle?
That would be Ringo. If anyone messed with me, I've told you about this.
If anyone messed with you,
messed with me, I'd stick Ringo on him and he'd beat him in the head with his drumsticks.
he had these drumsticks, and that's how he started drumming, right? Because he was
Right.
just beating people in the head.
Right, and I said, wait a minute. That sounds like a sort of a hip, funky thing to listen to.
Was he beating people in the head like doodle doodle doodle?
Yeah, he would line people up from biggest to smallest.
Right, yeah. Was he doing sort of like the drum solo in the end, Golden Slumbers? Dun, 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 dun.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I said, I watched this, and I all of a sudden pushed out the people that he was beating on.
And pushed in
the drums. And he said, I like this a lot better. Morally, I like this.
Right, wow. Incredible to hear these details from
The
an
old
actual
story.
Beatle.
Yeah, it wasn't just getting in a room and recording music.
No,
it
of
was
course
tricking ourselves into making music.
Of course not. So what do you have planned for this season? Anything coming up that you can hype?
We have all kinds. This week, depending on when this is released.
This will air a little bit in the
Late.
future. So something that you just did.
We're about to do an episode where we're going to ask people what's the dumbest thing you've ever done. You can call in and tell us, and we're going to crown an official dum-dum on the show. We're going to say you're the official dum-dum of the show. But this is going to be a real position. You get your own. You're going to have the email address, dumdum@gethardshow.com.
People can send you, what would they send?
They can send whatever they want. You can, if you need advice
Insults?
from a dum-dum, if you want to insult a dum-dum, we have an actual dum-dum. If you, if there's press obligations that I can't make, you might be called in.
Might be called in to do the dum-dum.
I want
And
to.
by the way, there's a lot of press stuff that you turn down.
I want to pass it all
Pass
off
it
onto
all
some
off on the
random
dum-dum.
caller in the show who we call our dum. I really want to read like a small regional newspaper, write an article on my show where they unknowingly interview
Chris
someone.
was unavailable.
Some guy who Skyped in once, and we called him the official dum-dum of the show. Make him an actual cast member. He might have to, we might get a P.O. box in his or her town.
Oh, wow.
So that person can be sent mail on behalf of the show.
Wow. And will you keep it going long after the life of the show? Will
I would
you
like
be
to
paying
think
for that?
this is a real thing. Yeah,
It's a real thing.
I want to make a T-shirt with their face on it, but apparently there's a lot of legal things there.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
gets that sweet cash? I'm like, it's not
Right.
about the cash; it's about spreading word on the dum-dum.
That's like, just do it. I found that most of those things when you're doing a show, like if someone says, "Oh, I don't know if you can do that," just go, "I'm going to do it," and then you just do it.
And then
You
they
throw a
have to figure it out.
trademark symbol on it. Nobody can touch you.
Yeah,
Is that how
exactly.
it goes?
Just put a TM
Except
right
Michael
next
Jackson.
Well, where is he now?
to it. Well, where is he? Is he going to come
Is
back
he
to
gonna
life?
come
I don't know. In a way, he killed himself, didn't he?
Drinking too much of that Jesus
I
juice?
guess so.
Is that what that was?
I guess. So the Chris Gethard Show, it's always a good time. Lasts approximately 58, 59, maybe 60 minutes a week.
Now, generally closer to like 48 because of the commercials and
Oh,
whatnot.
I'm including the commercials.
Oh yeah.
Do you write those and shoot those yourself?
We do, yeah. All the commercials.
And you're in
are
all of them
embedded.
in costumes and whatever.
right.
Yep.
Live every Thursday.
Oh, great band. You're having them on every Thursday.
Yes, live.
Good God.
The guy.
How do you get them?
He's still got that top knot thing.
Yeah, he's still got
They're
it, that
wonderful.
little long ponytail.
And it's weird because we have a house band, so having the same musical guest every episode
Yeah.
kind of steps on their toe.
Well,
The
he
house
said,
band-
"I alone."
Yes, and my
Simple.
wife is the band leader of our house band, and
Right.
they and live hate each
I
other.
bet.
Oh, yeah.
We can't even have their green rooms in the same building.
Really, what
Yeah.
building is?
Live we have to go over a river. Live's green room is in Long Island City, Queens, over the East River.
God.
Wow! And
Yeah.
by the time they get over there,
They have to take
all
the
their
7
makeup
train.
is all worn off.
It's all melty. Yeah, it's all melty.
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of thing that you can see every week. This is the Chris Gethard Show, 11 p.m. Eastern, True TV, live every Thursday night. This is a great show. Chris, can you stick around and help me out with our next guest the same way that John Lennon is?
I'd love it.
This is good. Okay.
Thanks for having me, by the way.
Oh, my pleasure. You're always a good time. And I'm a fan of the arts in general, and you are a subset of that.
Thank you so much.
Do you like painting?
I love painting.
We've never talked about if you
Love
like
it.
painting. You do.
How do you feel about painting?
I love it, but I never known what you thought about it.
The Mona Lisa? Mwah.
Well, what a piece of.
What a piece of art.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I always say anytime I go see it, which is often, about 3-4 times a year. I try to see the Mona
Just
Lisa.
to check and make sure no one's taking flash photos.
Yeah, and I gather everyone around me and I say, the Mona Lisa, what a pizza.
At this point, everyone should be finishing it with you.
Exactly. They all applaud. They
Right.
know it's coming. Some people camp out there because they're like, oh, is it going to happen today? I don't do it on a set schedule.
Do you guys only like painting like that, like fine art? Because I like even like house painting. I enjoy.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
To me,
the
the
one-
Mona Lisa and house painting, same diff.
Same thing. It's paint on a brush on a surface.
Yeah, exactly. It's like sometimes I'll drive through a neighborhood and I'll pull over and I'll say, "What a pizza!" Just looking at a house, and by then a crowd is gathered around
Right.
usually.
He's
and,
doing it again.
Yeah.
I wish I had a camera with me.
And what's weird is none of them ever do.
No
Even-
one's carrying cell phones and cameras anymore.
No,
you
it's
notice that?
so strange. Have you noticed that just in the last couple of weeks, everyone's thrown out their cell phones?
Right, they leave it at home or in their car. I don't
don't
need
know.
this. I probably won't have to have contact with anyone.
I
What
don't
is
know what
this?
that's all about, but it's
crazy.
become like the hot new trend. People just going like, I don't need this thing.
Because it used to be huge.
It used to
Everyone
be like
had
everyone
phones.
would have them in their pocket. Is it? I don't know what happened. Like, was it? And it's not something that has been communicated between anyone. Just everyone just decided
Everyone just
suddenly.
gave up on it.
In New York, where I live, there's a new thing now where as the train pulls into the station, everyone takes out their cell phones and throws them on the tracks.
Just to break them.
Weird on
Yeah.
the tracks.
And then when everybody's on the subway, they're all like dancing and hugging. But I mean, that's like a pretty standard
I don't
subway
know.
thing.
I would throw it in a box. That's
can't.
that's how I feel about it.
I will just reiterate: there's certain boxes in my life
Nope.
that if you put something you were discarding in that box, it would be a serious issue.
Oh, I know what box you're talking about. Wink, wink. Nice innuendo, my friend. All right. Well,
I'm not. Wait, which?
yeah, the box, very personal box to you. All right, I get what you're trying to say.
I'm not. I'm still not.
Okay, yeah, I get it. You're nasty. You're a nasty, nasty man, Chris
Oh,
Gethard.
yeah, I'm with you.
yeah, John Lennon
Oh,
gets.
my God.
All right, well, enough of your sex talk.
I'm not with you.
Oh, wait, you didn't know what I was saying?
No, I
Yeah,
thought
no,
you meant a
that's not-
cigar box with baseball cards.
No, I'm
It's
talking
not
about
that either.
wife's vagina.
It's somewhere
All
in
right.
between.
Look, we need to take a break. When we come back, this is exciting. We have a television producer. Now, you must work with them all the time on your show.
I love them.
So they always have great notes, and we have a television producer coming up after the break. We're going to take a break. We'll have more Comedy Bang Bang right after this. Oh boy, I'm excited about this. The cult classic TV comedy Dr. Katz is back. That's right, Dr. Katz, the audio files, is back with the original cast, including Jonathan Katz, the titular Dr. Katz, Laura Silverman, H. John Benjamin, and now it is a free premium podcast at audible.com/Dr. Katz. This is a lot of fun. I did one of his live shows. It was a big thrill to meet Dr. Katz and be interviewed by him. And there's some great guests on this time. 15 guest patients: Sarah Silverman, Ted Danson, Ray Romano, Deborah, Weird Al Yankovic, Christian Shaw, Maria Bamford, Paul F. Tompkins, Pete Holmes, John Hamm, and so many more. They bare their souls in 15-minute sessions with Hollywood's favorite shrink. Free antidepressants in your ears on Dr. Katz, the audio files, exclusively now at audible.com/Dr. Katz. That is audible.com/DRKATZ. If you're like a lot of guys, and I hope you are, or maybe you're not like a lot of guys, who knows what you're like? You can be a unique person if you want, but I guess what I'm trying to say is emotionally, we're all human beings and we all have similar feelings in a lot of ways. We have empathy for other human beings, and we feel some of the same emotions that we as the human race feel. Anyway, so if you're like another human being, you could probably think of a million things you would rather be doing than shopping for clothes, right? Watching the game. The Michael Douglas film. Sean Penn, great in it. A lot of stuff that you'd rather do, right? Between parking and crowds at the mall and you got to go into these stores and browse, and someone comes up to you, can I help you? No, I'm just looking. And then you're like, oh no, I'm embarrassed. I said I'm just browsing, but now I need help. And these social things that we hate doing. It's enough to make you just want to wear your underwear all day, right? But you can't, because society tells you that's not cool. Well, let me tell you about something that is going to fix all of this. Stitch Fix Men. Stitch Fix Men. They have reimagined how to find and buy clothes, and you never have to leave the house. I got to say, there's a common thread with all of my advertisers. They're for agoraphobes who don't like to leave the house, and I love it. A perfect day for me is one where I never have to talk to anyone, including my wife. So if you're like me and you don't want to leave the house, this is easy, all right? Go to stitchfix.com, tell them your sizes, and when I say tell them, I mean type it in. You don't go to stitchfix.com and a magical genie arrives in your room. Don't expect that. This is computer-based technology. Type in your sizes, tell them your favorite type of clothes, tell them how much you want to spend, very important. Your personal stylist, and this is a personal stylist, by the way, gets to work handpicking. They hire this person, by the way, just for you, and then they fire them right after they give you clothes. It's, you know what? It's job creating. You got to admit that. Your personal stylist gets to work handpicking new clothes for you based on your style and your budget. Okay, 5 items. They send them right to your door. You try them on at home. You only pay for what you keep. Okay, so they're not like, you don't send them all back and they're like, well, you owe us all that money. No, that would be insane. You only pay for what you keep. Shipping, free both ways. Anything you don't want, just send it back. And exchanges, they're always free too. So you can get your fix monthly, quarterly, whatever you feel like it. There's no subscription required. It's easy. Shipping's free. Why not try it? I tried it. It's great. I got a bunch of clothes. I promise you'll be hooked. Get started now. At stitchfix.com/bangbang, you'll get an extra 25% off when you keep all 5 items in your box. So if you keep all 5, you get 25% off. That's extra 25% off. That is stitchfix.com/bangbang to get started today. stitchfix.com/bangbang. Comedy Bang Bang, John Lennon here.
Oh, I was holding my breath that whole break.
Why?
Just to see if I could do it.
Oh, could you?
I did what you just said.
Wow, that was a long
Still
one.
have to breathe. So when you come back to life, you're living again.
I'm alive.
You're not undead. You're alive.
No.
He's alive with all the fixins. Meaning
Right.
He's got to breathe.
I
If
gotta
you get
breathe.
cut, you bleed.
I bleed. I blink. Sometimes I stink. If I do a workout.
How often? What's your workout regimen?
My
these days?
workout regimen these days is I'm in the park on my Central Park on my bike every day.
Yeah, well,
And
you
then
have that apartment there.
Right, the Dakota, and I'll do a sunset ride, but that's just for me. That's more aesthetic.
Is that for as long as it takes the sun to set? Meaning, like the minute it's up, you're riding the entire time until
Now
it
that
sets?
would be crazy.
But is it true?
No,
Oh, okay. Well, how long are you doing this ride?
the sunset ride lasts for 5 or 6 seconds.
So literally just
Right.
from the time that it is barely visible to invisible.
Yeah, I'm rushing out. Get out of my way! I've got to get to the park to do my sunset rides. This thing I like to do. I'm nuts.
And everyone's like, yes, we know.
Yes, we know. People are generally pretty nice
Yeah.
if you scream at them on the street.
Chris,
Yeah.
oh, sorry.
No.
Chris Gethard is also here. You had a question for John?
No, I was just impressed by the work. It's different than my workout, but I was.
Yeah, what is your workout?
is your
I do
regimen?
this. It's called Street Krav Maga. It's a martial arts, which is very effective.
But you're
workout.
battling the street?
No, well, you wander the streets, and the cool part is you don't know who else is participating.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like you have to fight somebody.
Is there any way that you can telegraph it, like with a certain stance, where someone were to say, I bet this guy.
Yeah, it's really a lot about, because a lot of it, you get warmed up. The mental stress of trying to suss out
Trying
who
to
else is
figure it out.
involved in this.
If anyone looks you in the eye and kind of gives you that look, then you know.
Yeah, and you can get, you can get mixed up, but you have to fight somebody by the end of the night. There's an app where you turn it on, and it kind of lets you know like who.
Oh,
It's
okay,
almost
it's like Uber for
like
Krav
your
Maga.
Uber, your Tinders, your Grinders,
Yeah.
but for Krav Maga.
Right.
It kind of lets you know, it shows some green dots.
What percentage of people are not participating that you end up fighting?
I would say 30 to 75%.
Yeah, that's a wide
Oh
swath.
wow, that's a big
Yeah, it depends on the week,
Yeah.
It's like you see these green dots. It's almost like more like Pokemon Go than anything else. You like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like gives
That's
you a little
very popular
arrow. It's so popular, and it's getting more popular every day.
Oh, yeah.
It gives you an arrow, and you kind of follow it in a direction, and then there's a green dot, and it starts to blink yellow, then red when you're close. And then
Right.
you just you fight on the streets.
That's
Fight, yeah.
That's got to be tough with everyone throwing their phones away because now you don't know who's playing and just fighting anyone.
It's a bad
scene.
merging of events.
Good
Yeah,
God.
it's terrible. Well, you look great. You're in great
Thanks.
shape. And
Thanks so
John, not so much for you, I got to say.
I know. I've been skipping.
Yeah, you've been packing. Oh, well, I mean, you got to do a longer workout, isn't it?
I've been skipping to do my
you
workout.
have? Oh, okay.
Skipping down the street.
So otherwise you would be having...
my ankles and legs are humongous.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I didn't notice that.
Skipping
Yeah.
is great for muscular ankles.
That's like a reverse murder ball situation. All right. So we need to
Haven't
get
seen
to
it.
our...
Reverse murder ball, also one of my favorite sports.
Oh, it's so good.
Reverse murder ball.
Where basically
is
you're trying...
so watchable.
You're trying to put people in wheelchairs through the baskets. Uh-huh. And these are the balls doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the ball tries to throw a wheelchair-bound human through a
They're
basketball hoop.
usually pretty boring games.
Really? Yeah, I know. It's just two groups of things sitting around.
Right.
It's like soccer, though. It's like when it gets going.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And you're going nuts.
It's so
Reverse murder
exciting.
ball, yeah. I watch it on ESPN, too.
I do as well. We have to get to our next guest, and this is exciting. And she, by the way, she's wearing stripes, which is a lot like you during your special, Chris.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what do you have to say? She's sort of like a...
I'd like to say don't make any comments about your outfit being funny or else Scott's going to slam you.
Yep. So there you go.
But you look great. You look beautiful.
She is a
you.
television producer, and that's exciting. And please welcome, for the first time on the show, Pam Carton. Or Carton. Sorry.
Yes, Carton.
Carton.
Yes. My last name is not Carlton.
Not Cartman.
Not Cartman.
Okay,
no,
because that's a really
I don't know
funny
what that's
character.
a reference to, but that's not my name.
It's a very funny character on a television program and also a movie. There's a spin-off movie called South Park,
I don't
Bigger,
know.
Longer,
Familiar.
and Uncut. Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar. I'll look it up.
Cartman.
Later.
Yes.
Cartman.
Kenny's dead.
I'm sorry.
Kenny's
Who's
dead.
that?
Kenny's another...
That's someone you know? I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm talking about Kenny Loggins, and I'm just wondering if he's dead yet. Anyone know?
Let's see. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up. Pam, Pam Carton.
Yes,
so good to meet you. Now,
it's great to be here.
I haven't trolled your IMDb page.
Oh, okay.
I haven't perused it at all, so I don't really know anything about you. But
I'm surprised you don't know me by my name. I mean, I
don't like to look at credits when I watch a television show or a movie because, in my opinion, that's like spoilers when it's on TV and it's beforehand.
Oh, interesting.
And when it's after, it breaks the reality of the thing I just saw. I want to know that, that was Iron Man. I don't want to know it was Chris Gethard or Robert Downey Jr. I want it to be Iron Man. Like, as far as I'm concerned, credits should be like Iron Man ... Iron Man.
Well, that's the difference between, talent and a producer, of course, because to me, an entire movie, an entire television show is all a cold open leading up to the credits.
Oh, interesting.
The most important story is really being told by who made this television show.
The story behind the story is the story that you're interested in.
Yes. Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah. And so I actually work in unscripted television. I am a reality.
Oh, reality.
Yes,
Got
yes,
it.
Reality. Actually, Chris, not similar to your show, more competition reality. You're probably familiar with the show that I created called Hot Tub Diarrhea.
It's
like a big franchise, like The Bachelor.
I think I saw this. It's Adam Scott and Craig Robinson.
Hot Tub Diarrhea. No, that's a Hot Tub Time Machine. That's completely made up. It's not the same.
I thought that was a reality show.
No, it's not a reality show. It's not a reality show because there are actors in it, and there's.
Well, I didn't see the credits, so I don't know.
See, that's your problem. Yeah, you didn't.
Although I did say it was Adam Scott and Craig Robinson.
The second one, the first one had John Cusack. The second one didn't.
Oh, got it.
That's why they had him get beheaded.
Got it. Yeah, he got beheaded
right before the movie.
Right before the movie. So Hot Tub Diarrhea. What is this? It's a reality show.
Oh yeah, it's a huge hit. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. It's 12 contestants, one hot tub, one big meal. First one to diarrhea in the hot tub is eliminated. Last person standing at the end of the season wins $5,000.
Okay, let me do this math here.
Sure.
12 contestants is where you started?
Yes.
One hot tub.
One hot tub.
So that's not a hot tub per person type situation.
No. Everybody's in one hot tub.
Communal.
Together, yes. A communal hot tub.
Okay.
As you would were you to sit in a hot tub with a group of friends, a group of coworkers, a group of colleagues. We're all familiar with the hot tub. That's the genius of the show.
Yeah, I've seen the show.
Yes.
I love it.
It's very relatable. Very relatable.
Well, exactly. Reality television is all about fulfilling people's desires. A desire for love, a desire to be the best at cooking, a desire to, go to a new place and taste something nice. This is about our universal desire to not have an enormous amount of diarrhea in a hot tub.
Right.
With a group of friends.
It's on HGTV, right?
Yes, absolutely.
HGTV.
Yeah, we have a tie-in with a couple hot tub companies and a couple deck companies. The hot tub is in a different deck every episode.
No, you don't have to tell me. I'm a fan.
Oh, so you've seen the show?
Oh, yeah, I watch every episode.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I DVR, actually.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
not even my own show.
So you don't watch it live?
As often as I can. But
I see you DVR to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's on Wednesday nights at 1 a.m., so it's sometimes hard
that's
to
a
watch
coveted
live
slot.
because, you're out, you're sleeping.
So one big meal, everyone eats the exact amount of food?
Yes.
Or do they do a
depends.
percentage of their body weight?
It depends on what week we're on.
I see.
The first challenge is a buffet challenge where you get to regulate how much you eat, but a lot of people will really... Their eyes will be bigger than their stomach, if you know.
Were I to be competing on this
Yep.
show, I think I would not eat all that much. But then again, like you say that anytime you go to a buffet, and you're like, I'm just going to have a little bit.
Exactly.
And then
you haven't seen the... Chris,
three plates later.
It's a very nice buffet.
Well, if you're on the show, too, you're sort of getting busy, ready for the day. You're busy. Getting busy, I was going to say. I meant to say you're busy, you're getting ready.
I was so concerned for you for a second. I was like, John has stopped making sense. And not in a good way that, like, Jonathan Demme is there filming the whole thing.
Oh, well, maybe I could send that into Netflix.
Just a remake of that?
Just that.
Starring John Lennon? Oh, really? Just like your DVD?
I'll send him the DVD.
Yeah, you may have had just a Netflix account, by the way.
Ah, right.
And have they sent you any DVDs that
they sent them? Well, I have to ask for them.
Yeah, okay.
And they send them right away.
That's normally how that.
Sometimes I don't even ask for them. They're on TV. Yeah. Well, anyway, I was going to say, some people, they're getting ready for their day and they got to go to the show. They said, I'll eat at the show. And they don't eat. You show up, you're eating everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
And
probably the first one out.
everybody has to eat at some point. Also, some people will make the mistake of having, too much to drink. And honestly, everybody's relationship, between food to diarrhea is very different.
Well, normally now I've heard about diarrhea. It's you're dehydrated, and that's why people have diarrhea. So alcohol can do that, I would imagine. So the more someone drinks,
Sitting for long stretches in a hot tub.
yeah, or on a plane watching someone standing up.
Well, we do have in the last season. I mean, it's been on for 12 seasons. On the last season, we did have an airplane challenge. We put a hot tub in an airplane.
Oh, that's
had everybody in the hot tub in the airplane, drinking teeny little coffees, teeny little Sprites, anything they wanted from the stewardess.
Where was the plane going to? What was the destination?
Oh, it went from Phoenix to Scottsdale over and over.
Okay, really.
Yes.
Landing each time.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You have to land. It's yeah. We went back and forth 14 times.
14
yeah,
times.
well, because
Wow.
you never know. Sometimes someone's out in 45 minutes. Sometimes it's taken as long as 14 hours to get our first diarrhea.
Wow.
They have to stop. As a fan of the show, I know
Yeah.
they have to stop and land that often because people often die.
Yeah.
Well, not often. We're not legally allowed to say often.
Wait,
Just as a
you want to
spectator.
say often?
You could admit to the deaths, but not often.
Yes, we can. Yeah, we can admit to the death. But if we do not use the word often. We say, hey, some of the time.
The majority of the time.
I'm not trying to put you in a weird spot. You legally have certain obligations,
Sure,
but
sure.
just as a
Well,
spectator
yeah.
who watches the show, people die on the show more frequently than they do on any other reality show I've ever watched. It's the best.
They're dying from the diarrhea because it's going untreated,
reasons.
or
Some people. There's one. Once we get late in the week or late in the season,
Right.
We turn the temperature of the hot tub up to 250 degrees.
oh, that's
Wow,
no,
okay.
that's far too hot.
Well, that's what you might think.
And if you
but
drink when you're in there as well, I mean, that's going to roast you within. And not like a roast battle where it's like, hey, Jeffrey Ross, get over here. We're having fun. This is like a bad
like
situation.
a boil, but it's more of a boil than a roast, to be
Right.
honest.
Ooh.
A roasting
There's also-
is more of a dry cooking.
One of my favorite characters, season 6, People's Champions. This guy, he was named Rod.
Yeah.
Rod,
Oh,
you said.
gosh,
Rod.
yes.
Everybody loved him. And
Yeah,
he had
Hot Rod, yeah.
Hot Rod.
Just from his
Yes.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his
He
name
was
was
a big
Rod.
hit,
He was
yeah.
hot. People
Yes.
loved him.
Yeah.
Message boards.
I mean,
And Lonely
hello,
Island
yes.
fans, they were
Big-
like, hey,
Yeah,
they-
great,
yeah.
great movie.
Yeah.
You're
Great
hot. Your
movie.
name is Rod. It's all coming together.
It's,
had
but
a
a lot
cut.
of triangulation.
He had a little cut on his knee. It skinned his knee. And you
no.
can imagine you're sitting in a hot tub full of
Right.
someone else's diarrhea. You have an open wound. You're going to...
Just dying of
He died.
tuberculosis or something.
died.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
salmonella. We have a salmonella challenge
Where you're eating
just
food
lightly
that had been-
contaminated chicken,
Oh,
which
gosh.
does not always kill a person. We've really tried to get that just to the right balance of not
Right, people-
deadly, but the kind that would really push the limits of diarrhea, because that's
people
what our
handling
show is about.
other meats and then they don't wash their hand and then handle the chicken.
Yes,
and,
yes, exactly.
Then
exactly.
people form
Ron.
alliances. It's really like...
Oh, wow.
It's
Oh,
like...
God, it's so nice to have a fan of the
big,
show. I wasn't
legit-
expecting this.
Legit fan.
This is wonderful.
I actually submitted tapes to be a contestant, but...
Wait, what do you
gonna-
submit a tape of? You diarrheaing
It's
or
of
you
sitting-
not?
Yeah, no, it's you sit. Jen, I have not. Maybe my thing. I've never actually sought out a hot tub. I just sit in my tub and do diarrhea.
Your actual bathtub.
my actual bathtub.
How
yeah.
hot does it get in your bathtub?
I can get it pretty hot.
Oh, yeah?
I can get pretty steamy in there.
yeah, about 80, 85.
Oh,
Well, I think
85
that's
plus,
the problem.
yeah.
I feel like we've seen your submission tapes. The camera's always very foggy. We can't
It
see
is
you.
true. I've been trying to sort
You
out.
narrate it. You have to narrate what you're doing.
It's such like an infinity loop. Like, how do you shoot a quality tape in a real steamy
Right.
room with
Well,
a glass lens on this
Pam
camera?
knows. I mean, you do it every week, it seems.
Oh
like.
yeah. I mean, we've developed completely new technology to capture the drama. I mean, we have a tub cam. I mean, you've heard.
cam.
You do have a tub cam.
We have a tub
Oh,
cam.
God,
That's one of my
I've saved
favorite
my question.
angles.
what
Is
changed
that
the
with?
game.
Yeah, we have it's like a series of.
John has been
360
raising his
GoPros.
hand
Yeah.
the entire interview, by the way, saying and mouthing me. And I
I've got
hadn't,
a tub cam question.
yeah, I hadn't called on him. So it's great that you answered it before.
Yeah.
So a
Before
tub
I did
cam.
all this damage to my rotator cuff of my own.
Yeah. So and that catches and captures the diarrhea as it escapes from the rectums.
Yes, exactly.
So
And we-
I would imagine there's a photo finish occasionally with people, just two contestants or two or
Gosh.
more, just
I
at
mean,
the same,
it's-
presumably the same time.
Sometimes I mean, well, you remember season 11, we had that finish. It was exactly the same time, which of course what happens is a fight. You know, they have to fight.
They physically fight.
They have to physically fight.
A diarrhea tub fight.
Yes.
Two very dehydrated people actively doing diarrhea, fist fighting.
Wow.
Yes.
While in the tub, or do they get out of the tub?
No, they get out of the tub onto the deck. That's actually one of our nicest opportunities to feature the lovely construction of the deck.
Do these deck companies really enjoy seeing someone just slipping on their decks and
any press is good press, I'd imagine.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you get a deck, to get out there, enjoy the sun, slip around, fall down.
Skin your knees.
Yeah, where else can you fall down outside and not get dirty?
When I got a deck. When I got a deck.
Yeah, you should make your next submission tape on your deck.
Oh, great call.
You don't have to be in a tub. You could diarrhea right in a bucket.
I love it. I got a deck hanging off the side of my apartment in Queens.
Oh, wow.
All because I watched it.
Terrific.
Was Two Girls, One Cup, was that an audition tape for your show?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
It actually was, yeah.
And it became even more popular than your show.
Well, I wouldn't
That's
say
almost
that.
like Jennifer Hudson not winning or coming in 7th on American Idol, and then she goes and wins an Oscar.
Okay, well, I mean, Two Girls, One Cup, I don't think ever. I mean, who's heard of that here?
I've heard of it. I haven't gotten to the end of it, though.
I mean, with people throwing away their phones these days.
I watched the dailies. I watched the dailies.
Right, yeah.
I watched the credits.
Pam, I've got a
Girls, One
question
Cup I didn't
about
watch,
solid waste.
You have a question about solid waste?
Next time,
Yes.
wait for me to call on you because, suddenly, you've been so polite up to this point, and now you're rude?
Now I'm a rude dude with an attitude.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
What about if someone, floats a log into the hot tub?
Great question.
This is a great question.
Thank you. I
This is
feel
a
so
great
great. I'm
question.
not going to stick around for the answer. I feel.
Tell you what. We need to take another break. I wanna hype this up.
Cliffhanger.
We're gonna get the answer to this after a break. What happens if someone has a solid log?
Are we going to break?
We are gonna go to break. Yeah. Okay, he's holding his breath. I better get to it. We are gonna come right back with the answer. More Comedy Bang Bang after this. Human beings, they're made up of, I'd say, approximately 77% water. So why aren't our clothes wet all the time? Well, I don't know. But when you're talking about percentages, when you think about it, the percentage of your life spent in a tuxedo, 0.0001% maybe? If that, maybe 0.0001? I don't know. There's so few opportunities in life to really look your best and wear a tuxedo. That's the ultimate in men's fashion, the tuxedo. Everyone looks good in them. So when your big day or your special event, or maybe you combined them into one day, a big day and a special event. I don't know what you do. When it rolls around this summer, look just as great as you feel with suits from theblacktux.com. That's right, theblacktux.com. With high-quality rental suits and tuxedos delivered to your doorstep, the Black Tux gives you a new way to rent. That old way to rent, not working out. We had to make do for hundreds of years going down to the tuxedo rental store or ye old tuxedo shop with a P-E at the end. No more. TheBlackTux.com. They have a free home try-on, so you can see the fit, feel the quality of your suit months before your event. And the best part is this is done completely online. You don't have to talk to that weirdo whose big idea, the one big idea he had in his life was, I'm going to start a tuxedo shop. Why would you ever want to talk to someone like that? No. All online. Typing, baby. That is the way of the future. TheBlackTux.com lets you create your look, or you can choose from 2,000 pounds worth of stylist-selected outfits. Suits like these, they usually retail for, when I'm suit shopping, I don't know, $1,175, $1,180, let's call it $1,200. But at the Black Tux, they start at just $95. Wow, $95. So if you have any questions or issues, their expert customer care team has your back every step of the way. And after ordering, your suit is going to arrive 14 days before your event. That way you can try it on. You can see how it looks. You can get a lot of opinions, from take a lot of pictures. Honestly, you could do 14 days worth of things in this thing. You could wander around, go to work in this thing. No one cares. If anything is less than perfect, the Black Tux is going to send you a free replacement right away. When your event's over, you just drop your rental back in the mail. Shipping free, both ways, easy. Stand out at your event for the right reasons with the Black Tux. Now, to get $20 off your first purchase, or just your purchase, it could be your 8th, who cares? To get $20 off your purchase, visit theblacktux.com/bangbang. That's theblacktux.com/bangbang for $20 off your purchase. Comedy Bang Bang, we're back. John Lennon is here.
Hello. I blew it.
Yeah.
No, 30 seconds in.
By the way, the previous break was so much longer.
I know. I don't know. I got cocky, I guess.
You thought, hey, I can hold my breath for
I
as
can
long
do
as
anything
I
I want, strutting around.
Yeah, you're not going to be good in this jacuzzi.
I don't plan on going in the jacuzzi.
Oh, you're not going to be on the show?
No, I don't need
You
it.
should. You know, we're doing a season of Celebrity Hot Tub Diarrhea.
Oh, who else you got? Maybe I could pad out my autograph book.
Oh, we've got Kathy Griffin is going to be
Got
on
it.
it. We've got,
you already have her?
Got it twice.
It's weird
great.
that you told me to just submit another tape and then invited John Lennon to be on the one for.
Well, she said celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you? I'm sorry. Who?
I have a TV show on True TV Thursdays, 11 p.m. It's live.
It's like
I
CISO, but
didn't-
still around.
I'm not
How'd the
familiar. I
paywall?
was on my I was doing my emails before during.
No,
the
I
break.
get it.
Like,
Yeah. No, I
very busy,
understand.
yeah.
I get this a lot.
Yeah. No, I'm assuming some kind of grown-up child.
Whoops.
Yeah, I mean, all adults are technically grown-up children.
Well, that's not true. Some people were born with the spirit and the body of an adult.
Yeah, they call them old souls.
Yes.
or a
people.
traditional child.
Or
who
Benjamin
transitions.
Buttons.
Yeah. You might actually be better for Hot Tub Diarrhea Junior. Have you thought of that?
The one with
yeah.
the kids?
It's
Yeah, so
very
remember that
adorable,
sex
yeah.
crime. That would be a sex crime.
What do you mean?
Me
What do you-
pulling
what
down
do you
my
plan
pants
on
doing
doing?
You can't do
You're not pulling down your pants.
Pulling down their pants.
No, I watch the show. I watch the show.
No.
The people who unleash the best always get unclothed. You know it and I know it. I know it's a major debate amongst fans of the show. Shit, I'm on all the message boards. A lot of people debate the
Wait,
strategy.
what is your name? What is your name on the Hot Tub Diarrhea message board? I monitor all of
And
them
what is
'cause
your
I
name
need to know.
as a celebrity?
My name
I
is
don't
Chris
want to-
Gethard.
I don't-
Hopefully they're both.
I'm not
real name is
interested
Chris
in your
Gethard.
real name. I don't. I'm going to do my best to forget that I have limited brain space. But what is your name on the Hot Tub
On the
Diarrhea
message board, the juice is loose 6969.
Oh,
Wait, you want a 69? Someone who has diarrhea?
I think
Twice?
69 is you do it once in reverse.
Just that the juice is loose 1 through 6968. We're already taken.
And by the way, are you talking about juice as in diarrhea? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about OJ and you're very excited about him being paroled?
Both things that I'm very passionate
well, he's
about.
going to be on
mutually
Celebrity Hot Tub Diarrhea. I'm actually.
is.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to announce on your show. We have OJ.
Oh, my God.
He's
Wow.
gonna eat a bunch of shrimp, drink a bunch of boba, sit in a boiling hot tub, and we're gonna see what happens.
Will Ito be there? Will Judge Ito?
I can't make any comment on that.
Judge
but we're-
Ito, please, John.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
We're trying.
I
We're
get so
trying.
relaxed and
We're
cavalier.
judging who does diarrhea
Right.
first.
What about the dancing Itos? Are they going to be on? The dancing Itos?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, the Danzig Ito's gonna be there.
Yeah, or the
dancing
Danza Itos?
I don't. No, this is not. I'm not familiar.
Hold
with
me
anything.
closer, Tony Danza Itos? Is that something?
Are you making a joke? Because what I'm talking about is very serious.
Well, we're throwing a
So
lot
sorry.
at y'all
That's
at
okay.
once.
That's okay.
I
But yeah, who would you
apologize.
like to see on Celebrity Hot Tub Diarrhea? We're still filling a couple slots. We're going to do a big, social media campaign. hashtag
Again, if you
famous
need me,
diarrhea.
I am, or anyone from the cast of my show.
Mm-hmm.
We got
You got the
friend Shannon,
Squid Boy?
the human fish. We got Vacation Jason.
Yeah, you got the Dum Dum.
Yeah, we'll have a Dum Dum quite soon.
Yeah.
Anybody in need?
And your show, remind me again what your show is.
a
Little
live-
Children Dance Time.
No, it's not. It's like a live talk show. We take calls. It's very experimental. It's on True TV.
Call, like telephone calls?
Telephone
on
calls.
the television?
On the television. It's live. Yeah. Really try to
Interesting.
make it interactive in a.
That is. Well,
right.
we have telephone calls on Hot Tub Diarrhea.
Believe me, I'm
Yeah, I mean, I
familiar.
keep
I've
looking
studied
at
your
you.
show.
You know, I
Who
mean,
are
you get
people-
one lifeline. Of
A lot of
course.
the elements of your show are things that I've studied in building my own show.
Oh, thank you.
Hold on,
Well,
you said
smart.
you said contestants get a lifeline? So
Yeah.
if they feel as if
One
diarrhea
lifeline.
is coming, they what? Get
They can make a
encouragement?
phone call and have a friend talk them through it. You know. There's
What's
that,
the
there's
what's
that
the
one
talk
person.
through? You just push.
Well,
No,
everybody.
don't push.
Don't.
All right, all
You'd be
right.
horrible at this.
Yeah, don't phone a friend. Don't phone me. I forget. So you don't want the diarrhea.
You do not.
Do not
want
want
to-
to- What about
unless? Yeah.
What about Ringo? Ringo should be on this show, and you could be the phone a friend.
Okay. I don't want to put my best friend through something like this.
Really? I mean,
You think about it, Scott. You telling your friend to go into a pool that's going to be filled up with shit.
That's very dismissive. As a fan of the show, it's got a surprising amount of heart.
It's so much more than that. It's thematically interesting. It's more about the deterioration of the human condition and society as a whole.
Yeah, in the same way that Big Brother examines how people live, and you get to see exactly like you said, the human condition in action. It's just like that, except in a hot tub full of boiling diarrhea.
All right, I mean, maybe I'll ask him. Maybe he could do it for his charity.
Yeah. What's his charity?
Dogs.
Just dogs?
Just dogs.
Just dogs in general.
Dogs in general. Give money to him.
When he sees a dog, he gives it money?
He puts money in its collar. And he can spend it the way he wants.
Are you sure the owners aren't finding the money and they're spending it?
Maybe they are. We haven't thought it through. I haven't touched it. It's his idea.
Yeah, that's all him.
So it's all him. I have nothing to do with it.
Is the diarrhea more, I guess, sanitary because it's boiling?
No.
If you
I
boil
wouldn't say,
shit, does it make it sanitary? It's still shit, right?
Yeah,
well, we do our best to keep it sanitary. As soon as the diarrhea happens, nobody has to stay in the hot tub. As soon as the diarrhea happens, it's over. You jump out of the hot tub, you run to the hose crew.
So the minute that there's diarrhea, is there some sort of klaxon or alarm that goes off? And
There's a klaxon. There's a klaxon.
Okay, I guess you're right.
Klaxon's one of my favorite parts.
Klaxon's a big part of this.
I was not totally familiar with what the phrase klaxon even meant until I started watching this show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So then people know get out of the...
Yeah, people know.
But there must be flakes of diarrhea that reside upon the participants.
Yeah, well, you can actually get immunity if you're the first person to clean every piece of diarrhea off of you.
Oh, okay. So that's the hose crew you mentioned?
Yes, that's the hose crew. So, we have
How many people are on this hose crew?
Well, we have one person per contestant. So it's
a true one-to-one situation. So it starts off as 12.
Mm-hmm. Then on
But then does the host crew still stick around? So when there's two people,
no, and you know what?
12?
That adds incentive to not get eliminated because your hose crew is actually a homeless individual who has it's a
homeless individual.
who is this is a job. This is a terrific job for them. Benefits, a place to live.
It's still going to be famous on Celebrity because I would even be on hose crew.
Yeah, he could do hose crew maybe.
It's only. Are you? Do you have a home?
Currently, yeah.
You mentioned your
when you stop getting paid, enormous amounts of money to do your little children's runaround show.
Amounts of money, by the way, that the normal American citizen could not even dream of.
But he said it could go under in 3 months.
Yeah, so then maybe you could be on your
on
next
the celebrity version of your
show.
show, the host crew will be famous homeless people?
Sure, you got the Tay guy, the Chocolate Rain. Speaking of chocolate, I think, wasn't he?
Oh, no. I thought he was a scientist.
Could be. I could be mixing these people up.
One or the other. One or the other, for sure.
Do you have a spin-off show, Homeless or Scientist?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, you're familiar with it. Yeah. It's
I'm just spitballing, but that's what I would do if I were you.
We do. Yeah. It's on A&E. It's you go to the street.
That must be the A part of their name, the arts.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes, of course.
Because it's not very entertaining, I would think.
No, it's very sad. Right. It's tremendously sad.
Right.
Most of the time, the people are homeless.
Wow.
Because it's a challenge to find a scientist who's willing to be on a reality show because they're all busy in the lab pushing buttons.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they're all like trying to discover
Yeah.
whatever it is they're trying to discover.
A lot of them make meth. A lot of homeless scientists, it goes towards meth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, this is fascinating stuff. I mean, so many seasons.
So many seasons. I mean, a big international hit. We're
what countries?
Big in China, Japan, and strangely enough, Siberia.
Siberia.
They have a big television market. It's ice tub diarrhea in Siberia. We tried to make it a hot tub, it froze immediately, and so it's.
And that's where all the
suspended in there.
Yes,
that's where all the Ruskies are like sending all of their agents that fuck up to.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it's
and they have their own television network. They have their own separate from the rest of Russia entertainment options.
Oh yeah, of course. They don't want to see the same things as the rest of Russia.
We have local news in all these different markets. Why is that so weird? I mean, you know what I mean?
Good point taken.
Yeah, you live on a frozen tundra. The rest of everything is too flashy. Everything is
he's got it. Stop badgering.
Point taken.
The point is taken.
Pam. Point taken.
Give
He
Chris
said.
a break, both of you. Jesus Christ.
I'm just not confident you understand.
Please stop mansplaining this to me. I understand what
Pam-splaining.
Yes, Pam-splaining. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, this is good luck to you. Do you have other shows in the hopper or in the popper?
Oh, yeah.
No
Very
pun
good, yeah.
intended.
I'm
I'm talking about John Popper and how fat he used to be and how he would have diarrhea all the time. The true runaround.
Of course. We have
the runs around is what that song used to be called.
You mentioned Netflix. We have a show coming up. Yeah, you're welcome. We have they're doing a special called Anthony Bourdain's Hot Tub Diarrhea in places you might not want to travel to.
Oh, okay. I can imagine like every country.
Yeah,
it's not the U.S. Just constant
eats
diarrhea.
A bunch of eyeballs on a stick, and then he just sits in a hot tub, and the show doesn't end until he diarrheas.
Oh,
it's very long so far.
So no winner here, just.
Well,
you're just watching.
Yeah. It's more like sort of a television journalism.
Right.
Yeah.
But we need to keep our hot tub diarrhea brand.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
We're doing
the
Little
HTD.
People Hot Tub Diarrhea is actually is being broadcast.
Little People, is that what you said?
Yes, Little People Hot Tub Diarrhea.
Okay, you don't mean the junior. You just mean actual.
No, adults.
Adults.
They're not, and they would be offended to hear you call them children, Scott.
I did not call them children, but
You
I
recently called me a child.
Well, yeah, but I'm
she doesn't care
assuming
about
that
offending you.
You are, yes.
So this is. I think that might be offensive to make a special show just for little people.
Well, have you seen Little People, Big World?
No, I have not.
Little Women, Los Angeles.
No, I guess I haven't.
Little People. There are other ones.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, are there certain challenges of being in a hot tub? Or I guess there must be a lot of drownings.
Scott.
What?
Scott, we make a little hot tub. What do you? We don't throw a bunch of dwarves in a big old pool.
Okay, it's proportional to their body size. Okay,
of course. The challenge is not can you swim in a hot tub full of diarrhea. It's can you eat a big Thanksgiving meal, top it off with 3 pieces of pumpkin pie, and sit in a hot tub for 9+ hours.
Okay, I apologize.
And not have to. Well, it's okay.
I'd
It's
like
just
to be
people
on
don't
that
take-
show.
yeah.
Can you eat a big Thanksgiving meal?
And then top it off.
That's it.
Personally, I think the 3 pumpkin pie slices are part of the Thanksgiving meal. I don't know why you would say that they're 2 different things.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, I like it for me.
Sure.
For me, include that in the meal.
Dessert into the
and
meal.
then top it off with a plate of lo mein. You know, because those are 2 things that don't belong together.
Interesting.
And then go to bed. I don't want to go in the hot tub.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you, Pam. I don't mean to Pam-splain to you, but your show is very popular, and it's always a pleasure to speak to someone who has much success and much future success to you with your projects. But we're running out of time. We just have one last thing to do on the show, and that's a little something called plugs. Ooh, baby, that was Shoegaze Plugs by Lost and Found, L-A-U-S-T-E-N Found. Enjoy that. I love the shoegaze genre of music, so that is right up my alley. All right, let's plug it up. Chris, what do we got to plug? Obviously, the Chris Gethard Show.
The True TV.
True TV, the truest.
Simple as that, yeah. Chris Gethard Show, check it out. Mm-hmm. Watch it live, watch it not live. Help it survive, please. I need this.
Yeah, who gives a shit when you watch it? That should be the
It's a modern
catchphrase.
world. It's a modern. If you happen to watch it within the first 3 days of airing, that helps me a lot.
Does it really? I could never tell. I know they say that.
That's what I've been told. And
I don't know. Don't you have to be a Nielsen family in order for it to count too?
I don't know how any of this works.
I don't know. I don't think if anyone watches it, they care. All they care about is people talking about it, and that's what we're doing today. Talking about it.
Thank you for that.
All right. Anything coming up after that? Anything in the hopper or the popper?
Beautiful Anonymous on Earwolf, on the Earwolf Network. And we've been doing a bunch of live shows. I'm doing shows in Texas and New York as part of the Now Hear This Fest.
Well, yeah, we're doing the Now Hear This Festival as well. We'll be talking
in
about
Gainesville.
that.
Halloween weekend, I'm bringing Beautiful Anonymous down to the Punk Rock Fest in Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah, are you going to dress up during it? Halloween weekend? Or a tuxedo. I'll take either.
Yeah. I mean, that's also dressing up, isn't it?
True.
Yeah, I went as James Bond.
That's great. Anything and any specials that you're planning? Any more one man?
I did a special.
Yeah, I know, but
it's so recent.
It's already out.
How about this? Any vacations?
Yeah,
You're working a lot.
No, I mean, I feel like you're encouraging me to take a vacation. You're already kind of implying, hey, you haven't done enough.
How about
recently.
Christmas Day? What do you got planned then?
I'm working.
Yeah.
Working on opening gifts, hopefully.
All right. I want to plug, let's see. Chris mentioned it, the Now Hear This Fest. Comedy Bang Bang's going to be there. We got Paul F. Tompkins. We got a bunch of other guests. It's a big blowout. Really fun show. New York City this September. The festival runs all weekend, September 8th through 10th. We're doing Comedy Bang Bang on Saturday the 9th. There's some single-day tickets were just released. You can come on Saturday to see us, but there's great shows for all 3 days. What do you know what day you are, Chris?
I'm on the Friday night.
You're on the Fridays, and I believe Lauren Lapkus and John Gabris, their show's on Friday as well. So
I think How Did This Get Made as well?
Yeah, and I think Who Charted might be on Sunday. So all 3 days, you should go. 3-day tickets still available. Gets you access to all 25 live shows throughout the weekend, and the first 100 people to use the offer code BANGBANG at checkout save $20 on a 3-day pass. Go to nowhearthisfest.com to get your tickets. You're not going to want to miss our show. All right, John, what do you have to plug?
Oh, you can check out my podcast on Howl.
Oh.
Yeah, Questions for Lennon.
Questions for, that's right.
Yeah, we answer advice questions that people email in. And if you want to email in a question to me and a guest, you just email questionjohnlennon@gmail.com.
Okay, and that's also on Stitcher Premium. And,
I believe so.
All right, great. Anything else you want to plug? The Beatles getting back together?
We were going to, but we're sort of, we were going to do last night, but I was working on putting that fan in Ringo's house.
Oh, well, you got one of them right there. Why didn't Paul just come over and then you could...
We didn't think of it.
Oh, all right. Pam Carton, what do you have to plug?
Well, other than the upcoming season of Celebrity
Sure, 12
Diarrhea.
episodes.
Yep. I'm a big fan of a podcast called Definitely Dying on the UCB Comedy Podcast Network.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's about hypochondria, and often they talk about diarrhea, which is why I listen.
Oh, okay,
yes,
yeah.
That's
your interests aren't just, you're not just working in a show, the medium of which you use diarrhea. You are interested in the subject matter all year long.
Well, I would say I'm always working, and my work is diarrhea.
How often do you have diarrhea?
3 to 4 times a day.
That's a lot of
Yes,
diarrhea.
yes.
You should consider changing your name to Fart and Cotton.
That's actually a
Just a
very good
suggestion.
idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Farts don't automatically, you don't presume, oh, that person farts a lot, they must have diarrhea.
I would say anytime diarrhea is put forth, there's a fart going with it.
There's a fart involved somehow?
I think so.
If you have diarrhea 4 times a day, how do you know to not just classify that as one day long diarrhea?
Yeah, that's
How do you
true.
know when one diarrhea has stopped and then
Or just,
another
I
brand new
always
one?
have diarrhea.
Are there solids between the 4?
Well, I stand up, I walk around.
Yeah, is it sort of like a Morse code where it's dash, 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 dot?
Which
you know,
the dot being
The dot being the full turd, the solid turd.
Oh, sure. I know it's to clarify. They're rarely punctuated by a solid turd. They're more punctuated. It's dash dash dash. Go to sleep.
Okay, dash
wake up,
dash. Just your life is
yes,
full of dashes.
my life is full of dashes.
Okay.
Because I make an effort to live my work. I understand diarrhea from the inside out.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you understand.
A
Chris,
life
you
full
must.
of dashes,
You're not
unlike
familiar with my
Flojo.
work. You've said that.
Yeah, or my friend Prefontaine.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's close up the old plug bag.
Talk about bags and bags. I'm talking about opening bags. I'm talking about bags and bags. I'm talking about opening bags. I'm talking about bags and bags. I'm talking about opening bags. I'm talking about bags and bags. I'm talking about opening bags.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a fun one. Chris, want to thank you so much. Always great seeing you.
It's a pleasure.
Congratulations with you making $250,000 a year at the very least. That's amazing. I'm going to look for you on CelebrityNetWorth.com, my friend. And
That is an inaccurate site.
I know.
I looked myself up on there. It's not accurate.
Inaccurate in the sense of it's saying too much or too little.
It's severely overestimated my net worth.
Okay. Although maybe with all your holdings, your real estate holdings, maybe they're, I don't know. We'll talk about off
The
air.
new deck really ups the ante.
Right.
Thank you for having me. It's always so fun.
My pleasure. Pam Carton, I look forward to hearing whatever you have. Please let us know whenever you have something new. I want to hear about it.
Will do. Thank you.
And John, we didn't get to a lot of what you've been going on.
We didn't
with.
talk about my submarine trip, but we'll maybe do that next
Oh,
time.
man, we don't have time.
Why did you think I was so wet?
I wondered. You never brought it up.
I assumed it was anything but a submarine.
It was a,
Yeah,
it was
usually-
a,
Submarines keep you dry. That's
They
kind
would
it
of
was a
crawl
bad
you.
trip. It all went wrong, but maybe
When
next
I saw
time.
your condition, I was like, this guy is definitely not been in a submarine.
Yeah.
Soaking wet.
Or a leaky submarine? Was
Exactly.
that?
It was all gone wrong.
Yellow submarine, like your friend Ringo?
I wish.
All right. So just gray, normal gray.
Normal gray.
Yeah. Okay.
Normal gray.
Well, we'll talk about it next time. Promise me that.
Kind of a charcoal.
Okay, great. Well, we can't.
Light black.
We don't have time, John.
All right.
All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for listening, and want to tell you that Stitcher Premium is having a special sale for Labor Day. For a few days only, you can get your first 3 months of premium for just $1. Wow. Perfect time to catch up on some of your fan favorite podcasts available only on Stitcher Premium. Hear shows like Big Grande's Teacher's Lounge, The Mysterious Secrets of Uncle Bertie's Botanarium, or all of the Comedy Bang Bang Live episodes. Just go to StitcherPremium.com/Labor Day to get your first 3 months for just $1. That is StitcherPremium.com/Labor Day. No promo code needed.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Chris Bannon, and Colin Anderson. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.